Hello everybody, so today we have a very nice Audi R8 for a review. This particular car is for sale at Los Leon Nuvelstijn. This is a first generation 2008 car, so it's a pretty early one. Very nice, kind of black, dark grey color. So what we're going to do is show you around the car, show you all the details and do a little test drive, of course. So it should be pretty nice. So this is a V8 Audi R8. I thought the V10 came in 2009. I thought, or 2010. I will look it up later. So this particular car is a V8 model before the facelift. So it still has the the double exhaust tip. Later on it was an oval one, a big oval one. I got also different intakes and that sort of stuff, a little bit bigger. So this particular car is delivered on 19-inch wheels. It was not standard. Standard on the Audi R8 V8 model was 18-inch, so this is an optional thing that it got 19-inch wheels. You got normal steel brakes. You got carbon fiber brakes, but that is also an option. So this particular car has also magnetic ride. That was standard on the V10 Plus, and was optional in all the other models. So you got two modes. And you can stiffen out the suspension. It's a very nice option. Also the other R8 I drove here that was with the V10 had also that option. It's very nice. This car also has a Bang & Olufsen sound system. I thought it was also an option. Very nice interior. I think it's a very nice color combination. Alcantara red headliner. It's just very nice. Electrical seats. This particular car is also very comfortable and very easy to drive. So this particular car has the R-tronic. So in this car came on the market, you had two options: a 6-speed manual and an R-tronic. So this is an automatic shifting manual transmission. So I tell you about that later on. So this particular car has done, I thought, about 80 or 90,000 kilometers. And it's still in very nice condition. I also think the sides are a little bit lighter color, so it's not the same color. I think it's a very nice color combination. So if you look at the interior, everything is electrical, of course. Here we got the trunk opening, I'm going to show you later. Also the gas cap opening, electrical windows. So this car is not a keyless entry. So this particular model you can also shift on the steering wheel. Also got a sport button, so you got a little bit more exhaust sound and a little bit more aggressive shifting in between. So it's going a little bit faster, and you got a little bit more rev range. The magnetic ride, two positions on or off. ESP there's traction control, of course. You can lift up the rear wing. That is deployment is above 70 kilometers, I thought, or 50 miles an hour. But you can also do it manually. So this particular car is also delivered with Audi navigation system, MMI sound system, with the Bang & Olufsen sound system. Also you got heated seats on both sides, and of course air conditioning. So it's a pretty full car. And in fact, I think this interior is pretty nice. So this particular car, like I said, has done 78,000 kilometers. So let's show you the boot space. Electrical opening. It's about 100 liters of boot space. So I think it's yeah, what do you want to expect from a car like this? I think it's still pretty good that there is some space. So it's opening the complete front and the complete nose, so there are no openings on the side. Very nice. So the back. So 4.2 liter V8. It's like the same base engine as also is in the RS4 B7. So this particular engine delivers 420 horsepower and 430 Newton meters. So it's, the difference between this engine and the RS4 engine from the B7 is that it has a different intake manifold. So this intake manifold is higher, and the RS4 is more flatter because it has to fit underneath the hood, of course. But this engine is also lower in the car because it has a dry sump system, and the RS4 engine has Still a wet stump with baffle plates in it so that the oil stays in. So I think we should do a test drive. So let's have a test drive in this Audi R8 V8. Sound is already good. Sheet a little bit forward. Sounds good. So this is an R-tronic transmission. So when the facelift model came in 2012, the R-tronic was replaced by the S-tronic. That was a multi-clutch automatic transmission. This particular car has a 6-speed, I say the 6-speed manual transmission, and it's shifted automatically. So that's also with a single clutch. This transmission is also known from the Lamborghini. There it's called e-gear. So yeah, it shifts a little bit weird the first time you drive. I also feel that it's completely different from an S-tronic. But yeah, we will see how good it is. So in like I said, in 2009 a V10 came, so there was also a 5.2 liter V10 available from that time, and in 2010 the Spyder was also available. So the last R8 I drove from Los Leon Nuvelstijn, that was a Spyder V10 from 2014. So it's a completely different car, different transmission, different engine. The weight is also much different because this particular car weighs 1565 kilos empty, and the manual transmission is 5 kilos lighter, so it's almost the same. So 0 to 100 should be possible in 4.6 seconds. And in 2012 when the S-tronic came, that became 0.3 seconds faster, so then it was 4.3. So the first thing what I always notice in this R8 or in the other R8, that they are very easy to drive. So it does not feel like an yeah, I never drove a Ferrari, so maybe I have to do that sometime. But some cars are not that easy to step in and drive away, like an SLS. It's really a long, big car, a very long nose, and this particular car is just it gives you just an easy, comfortable feeling, because it's just the seats are comfortable. The step in is low, of course, but the controls are easy and not very. I know that very much handlings you need to drive away, so it's just a very easy drive. So engine-wise, this particular engine is a 4.2 liter V8. So it's the base from this particular engine is coming from the B6 S4 that had 344 horsepower. This particular engine got the FSI directed injection system that was also found in the first version of the Q7 V8. And the engine is reinforced so it could handle to over 8,000 RPMs rev range. So this particular car delivers 420 horsepower and 7,800 RPMs, I thought. 7,800 RPMs, and later on when the facelift model came, this engine got a little bit more horsepower, like 10 horsepower more, and then the max horsepower was 7,900 RPMs, and you got 430 horsepower. So total delivery stayed the same, also in the facelift model, but this particular engine delivers standard 430 Newton meters, and that was from 4,250 RPMs to 6,000 RPM, so that the torque delivery is a little bit more flatter than in the RS4 engine. I think it's because there's a little bit different specking. I don't think in the engine, but the intake manifold is different, because this engine's intake manifold has a more longer straight tube intake manifold, and the RS4 is more flatter. So because of space, I think, because it's just the engine in the car like this, it's lower because of the dry sump, so you've got more height up. So and in the RS4 it needs to fit also under the bonnet in the front. So I think that's why the intake manifold is a little bit different. So also this particular car, like I said, is a dry sump engine, and an RS4 engine in B7 has a bevel plate inside. So it's a wet sump, and the bevel plate is keeping the oil getting to the walls when you're going to high speed corners and sort of stuff. So the engines are almost similar. So yeah, very nice engine, high compression ratio, 12.5 to 1. So it's a direct injection engine. So it has some flaps in the intake to keep to get the airflow at high speeds high to the tubes. So you have a better response at lower RPMs. Above 5000 RPM it should be fully open, and also the sound is getting more out there. So the magnetic suspension in this particular car, you got two settings. There's the setting where I'm driving now, and when you push the button it's getting more stiffer, and you can really feel it. I think it's a very nice option, and I would always prefer it when you search a car like that. I think it's a really nice option to have, because you can, with the push of the button, the car is getting more responsive and more sportive to drive. So we also got a sport button, so that gets the rev range a little bit more, and also the sounds get a little bit different. But in the V8 model you cannot hear the difference that much than in the V10, because the V10 is, if you push the sport button, it's like beasts getting alive behind you. It's just, and in this car it's just a little bit less. So you also got a Spyder in the back. Above I thought 50 miles an hour, 70 kilometers, you can raise and lift the Spyders going up. I thought it was 70 miles an hour, so 110 kilometers or something, and it lowers below 70 kilometers, or below 50 miles per hour. But you can also do it manually. There's a push button in the middle, you can raise it or lower it if you want it. So this particular model has also a launch control option. So you can launch it when you put it in sport mode, and you put the ESP off, put it in first gear, and just rev it up. Then it should be accelerating in the most efficient way. So we going to try that in a bit. So this particular model should we have a top speed of 313 kilometers an hour. We're not going to test that today. So I think it's very comfortable, and it's a very easy driving car. Everything is in it. I think you can perfectly daily drive this car. I think it's a very nice place to be in. So yeah. Let's do an acceleration test in this very nice R8. So it should do an acceleration in about 4.6 seconds to 100. I'm going to try to use launch control. So to the automatic mode, I will put ESP off. That needs to be off. You need to put it in sport. You can see the S. And put the suspension also in sport suspension, and then you just rev it up and it will go. That's really fast. Also braking is just incredibly fast. It works pretty good. I think this transmission is better for doing this than just normal driving, I think. So yeah, very nice. So with normal driving, this quattro 4-wheel drive system normally puts 85% of the torque on the rear wheels and 50% at the front. But for example, when you're doing launch control, you can go up to 35% to the front wheels and 65% to the back to give maximum grip. You feel that also when you're doing launch control, that the wheels are going to get grip, and then it shoots off. So I think it's a pretty impressive acceleration, this particular car. In comparison to the V10, I think this is a very nice car. In comparison to weight ratio, this particular car is 1565 kilos, and then the Spyder starts at 1620 kilos at far. And if you got a Spyder V10, it's 1725 kilos. But yeah, that car is. I also did a video from that V10 Spyder. That's a facelift model with an s-tronic transmission. Have a look at my playlist, because that acceleration is just under 4 seconds, for 3.9 or 3.7. But I think this particular car is easier to maintain. I think it's also not less expensive to maintain, because it's a V8 and it's in multiple cars, the base of this engine. So I think it's more developed, and the V10 is coming from, I think it's the same, but it's also in a Lamborghini. Yeah, I think this is easier to maintain, and it's easier and cheaper to drive, I think. And I think it's not less fun, I think, to drive this particular model. So this particular R8 is for sale at Jan Los and Leon Nuvelstijn. There's a link below the video. You can go to their main page. And I also put a link to the advertisement of this particular car. So in the right corner is my logo. You can click on it and go to my main page. And if you like the video, please subscribe and put the thumbs up for this very nice Audi R8. I think it's a real future car, a future classic car, and very nice sports car to step in, and not that expensive to maintain like a Ferrari or Lamborghini. I think it's a very good option, and it's very comfortable and easy to drive. So hope you liked the video. Put a thumbs up. See you for the next video. Bye bye.